With the net neutrality vote just weeks away, Comcast is getting ready to implement something called paid prioritization. Now, the company for years claimed that, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do paid prioritization. We're also not going to block or throttle or do any of that stuff. So don't worry. I mean, we don't need those net neutrality rules, but because we're not actually going to do anything that those net neutrality rules would prevent us from doing. So don't worry, so don't pass them. Well, then why are you spending millions and millions of dollars lobbying in favor to eliminate those rules? It always seemed kind of weird, right? Why lobby to give your company the power to do something just so you could not do it? It doesn't make any sense. Those of us living in the rational world are like, but wait, hold on a second here. Why would you do that? Now, here's why. Now that net neutrality it's a good chance that net neutrality is not going to happen, not going to be a thing anymore. Comcast is admitting that, hey guys, it looks like we're getting ready for a fast lane. Even though we're not going to block or throttle you, we are getting ready for fast lanes. I mean, just, I have a report here from Ars Technica, who recently noticed that Comcast's stance on paid prioritization, that's what they call the fast lanes, they have noticed that it has changed. While the company still says it won't block or throttle internet content, it has dropped its promise about not instituting paid prioritization. Now, Comcast tweeted out, we do not and will not block, throttle, or discriminate against lawful content. We will continue to make sure that our policies are clear and transparent for consumers, and we will not change our commitment to these principles. Now, notice that before they were like, we won't create paid prioritization. We will treat everyone equally. Well, that seems to, as I said, that seems to have changed. Okay. Now, here's the thing. They said that we're going to be transparent and we're not going to change our commitment to principles. I'm assuming these are the principles of net neutrality, except they have just changed their principles. See, principles only matter to them as long as there isn't money on the line. If principles cost them money, then of course we're going to drop those principles like a hot potato and we're going to take the money and run. Because we're a giant multinational corporation, that's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we were created for. So, now, look, here's an example of them dropping their principles, right? In May 2014, Comcast Senior Executive VP David Cohen wrote the following, and this isn't an example of them changing their principles. This is an example of them straight out lying to you. He said, to be clear, Comcast has never offered paid prioritization. We are not offering it today, and we're not considering entering into any paid prioritization, creating fast lane deals with content owners. 6 months later, Comcast made the same promise, saying we don't prioritize internet traffic or have paid fast lanes and have no plans to do so. So that's back in 2014. Fast forward, right? See, things have changed since 2014. Back in 2014, they were trying to avoid the Title II classification, so they made all these promises that, no, we're not going to do any of that stuff that you're trying to block us from doing. We promise, we promise we're not going to throttle you, we're not going to do anything like that, so please don't make us into Title II. Please don't take away that power to do the things that we promised that we weren't going to do anyway. Again, it doesn't make sense, right? Now, Comcast had also agreed to some limitations on paid prioritization as a condition of their purchase of NBC Universal. However, the thing that has changed since 2014, the other thing that has changed, as they said, is that those conditions will expire in 2018. Pi's proposal will undo the Title II classification and get rid of net neutrality rules entirely. So that limitation on their ability to do paid prioritization will be gone, as well as Title II, which means here come the fast lanes, baby. Again, they have an opening, and right now they're slowly but surely retreating from their promises. and they're, you know, putting it in flowery language and going, no, we promise we're not going to slow, or we're not going to block or throttle, and we're going to not discriminate, but we're going to offer fast lanes. What they're doing is that they're changing the framework of this. So this suggests that its pay prioritization will be available to anybody. So, hey, man, if you've got extra money, you can go a little bit faster on the internet superhighway. But again, that is pay prioritization. See, and this is the problem. Why should we have to pay for faster internet when we already pay to just have the internet? And see, here's the thing, right? We pay more than anyone else in the world for internet access. We're getting ripped off. So, I mean, look, my cable bill, for example, is about $93. Now, to be fair, we've got faster internet, and we also have a package, okay, with our cable company, right? And what's got to have her lifetime. So we pay a lot. We pay out the nose. Now, when it comes to other countries, just go and look at some of the comparisons between us and other countries, especially when it comes to speed and cost. You look at a country like South Korea, blazing fast internet at incredibly cheap prices. We do not have that. What we have right now is just super expensive internet that's mediocre when it comes to the some of the more advanced countries in the world. So we're getting basically ripped off. And with paid prioritization now in the works, well, hold on to your wallets. You're going to pay even more for, again, subspeeds compared to other countries. So now I want to read you a filing with the FCC that sheds some light on how they're actually going to roll this out. Now, the Commission should also bear in mind that a more flexible approach to prioritization may be warranted and may be beneficial to the public. Right. For example, a telepresence service tailored for the hearing impaired requires high-definition video that is of sufficiently reliable quality to permit users to perceive subtle hand and finger motions in real time. And pay prioritization may have other compelling applications in telemedicine. Likewise, for autonomous vehicles that may require instantaneous data transmission, black letter prohibitions on paid prioritization may actually stifle innovation instead of encouraging it. Commercial arrangements that entail prioritizing such traffic could ensure that low latency levels lead to achieve the high level of data quality necessary for such services to provide. Okay, so basically, let's kind of break that down a bit simply. Oh, look, these regulations, they're stifling this regulation that could help people, deaf people, and people that benefit from telemedicine. So, I mean, we should have those people allowed to have paid prioritization. Well, except that we already do have that. They already do have paid prioritization. In fact, there are rules that exist already that allow ISPs to provide something called isolated network capacity for telemedicine. Not only that, but as Ars Technica has previously written about, voice over IP phone offerings, heart monitors, and energy consumption sensors are also allowed under the same exception to the net neutrality rules. That exception that they are complaining about. Oh, I'm sorry, the exception that they want, or they're using to try to destroy net neutrality rules. So you understand that they're basically, again, they're lying. Oh, we don't have any exceptions. If we only could get rid of these regulations, we could do things that benefit people, except that you already have carve-outs that allow you to do the very things that you're complaining about. So that you're trying to use as a justification to eliminate net neutrality rules. All this is, it's a money grab. That's all it's always been. So, again, don't fall for the hype, okay? Now, the net neutrality rules also, as Ars Technica explains, do not outlaw the use of content delivery networks that optimize delivery of internet content to the edge of the ISP's network. Now, Comcast owns one of these CDNs. They actually created one back in 2014. Now, Pi's plan to eliminate the rules will allow ISPs to offer higher speeds over the network's so-called last mile. Now, that is the part of the internet that actually leads directly to the consumer's homes, and will also offer the fast lanes to any type of online business that wishes to pay for it. So the impacts, of course, on these businesses will be huge. It's not oh, this business chooses to do so in the free market and this business chooses not to have the fast lane. No, everybody's going to have the fast lane or they're going to lose customers. Now, imagine going to an online store and you just see the buffering symbol. You're not going to want to shop there. You're not going to want to wait. Like, fuck this. I'm going to go to the bigger guy that actually has faster internet so I can actually browse their store. Again, you can see how this is devastating towards small businesses. This is basically setting up an internet toll road. Okay, hey, if I want to compete as a small business, it looks like I'm going to have to pay the toll. Again, we pay access to the internet already. We pay the ISPs once in order to access the internet. Now they're saying, well, if you want to actually have faster internet, even though it's not technically faster, you have to pay us more because we're going to slow everybody else down. It's insane. So we're going to have to pay extra just to have halfway decent internet speed, which, by the way, is still not on par with the rest of the world. As I mentioned before, the rest of the world still has faster internet than we do. It's outrageous. This is almost like healthcare, even though it doesn't have the same sort of implications, of course, but the pay model is kind of the same. The other countries happen to pay less and actually get more, while Americans end up paying more than the rest of the world and actually get less because these corporations will screw us over in order to make a profit because we don't regulate them or because we don't have enough competition or public utilities. Now, there are cities that have actually been laying fiber optic cable that is actually substantially faster than the offerings from these giant telecom companies. So what are they doing? Are they lowering their prices to compete? Are they actually investing in more of their infrastructure? I mean, that's what they're saying that they're going to do, right? No, that's not what they're doing. They're actually trying to use their lobbying power to prevent these cities from actually going in and creating these fiber optic networks. Anything to try and retain customers except improving their infrastructure, lowering their prices, and creating better service. Those are the things that they will not do, but they will use any other trick in the book in order to keep your money and to extract more and more from their customers. This is the American business model. This is predatory capitalism. And this is what Ajit Pai is hoping to exacerbate by eliminating these net neutrality rules. So this is why we need net neutrality, okay? Without it, there is nothing here to stop these companies from doing exactly what they promised not to do. We don't believe their promises, okay? Look, if they were printed out, they wouldn't be worth the paper they were printed on. And this is the proof. Comcast is already looking to implement paid prioritization. They're just waiting. They're waiting. They're ready. Now look, this isn't a loss yet. We can still fight it. Call the FCC, email them, get a hold of them, let them know where you stand. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.